I have exactly 14 days until I play my first rugby game in about 3 years, and I am nowhere near ready for it.
I'm not fit enough, fast enough.
That was slow. That was really slow.
And I'm way out of touch with my actual rugby ability. Hi, my name's Joseph, and I played rugby for about 8 years of my life until eventually the time off that I had from a certain pandemic overlapping with a long-term back injury caused me to decide to leave. But I'm coming back, and the dream is, for my very first game back, I score a try. Now, obviously, that sounds very selfish, which, okay, yes, it is partly for selfish reasons, but not fully, at least the way that I'm thinking about it. You see, I'm planning for my first game back to be my own dad's charity memorial game. In my head, I have to score. But before I start training to prepare for said charity game, let's test to see how bad the damage actually is from pretty much just lifting weights for 3 years straight. 14 days until the game. Speed, the 100-meter sprint.
Right, I know beforehand I could get about 12 seconds on a 100-meter sprint, and I've grown a little bit since. Emphasis on the little, so my stride is a bit longer, so hopefully I'm not too far away from the 12 seconds. So I'm going to go through an old sprint training warm-up of mine, and then we're going to do a couple sprints, see what we get. Oh, this is a bit more tiring than I thought. Oh yeah, just by the way, ignore the hair for now. This is not how it normally looks. The wind is doing me dirty. Fast as boy. Oh, I felt like it took a while. I didn't feel very fast. That was slow. That was really slow.
And I was right, clocking in at 12.94 seconds. But I wasn't done there. Nearly a whole second faster on just the second attempt, and honestly it really did feel like it. Now, by no means was I satisfied with this score, but it was a good starting point in my eyes. Cardiovascular endurance, aka fitness, the 5 kilometer run.
Okay, for this one, we have got a 5k run on the treadmill. I vividly remember my previous personal best score for a 5k is 20 minutes 26. So we're going to aim for somewhere around 20, but this is the one that I'm most certain that I am nowhere near anymore.
My actual rugby ability. A bunch of random tests.
Now, this is a bit of a harder one to test because I don't really have any actual scores to go off, so I'm gonna do a couple drills, couple things with the ball, and just purely go off how I feel and the vibes. I'm never doing that again. Come.
27 minutes. 6 minutes longer than my prior personal best. That was a bit of a shock, and I was genuinely upset. But maybe we can still clutch a 2-1 here.
Honestly, the vibes were not bad there at all. Obviously there's a little bit of rust. I'm not quite as good as I was, and there is a lot of room to improve for these 14 days, but I'm not disappointed with that at all.
Yeah, it's safe to say the results were very mixed, and that there's clearly a lot of work to do, so let's do it. Now, Now, I think it's very clear to everyone that I need to do more than just some random drills at the field to actually improve my general rugby ability. So I have a plan as to how I can really improve my rugby ability in this time. And luckily, I can implement it today. And it is going back to my old rugby team's training. And that will do my rugby, fitness, and speed training for the day. So it's perfect. Yeah, let's just say I may have been a tad wrong when I said that I felt pretty good doing those rugby drills at the park. That was bad. At least the first half of the session was very bad. Let's just say that my first pass, I was here, the player that I wanted to pass to was here, and the ball went here. Yeah, quite embarrassing considering most of those players I've never played with before, so that was their first time seeing me play, and they just think I'm shit. But yeah, I guess that means that there's more room for improvement.
That is so tiring.
Now, I've got to be honest, after my rugby training, I slacked for a couple of days. I pretty much just did my regular weight training, as well as maybe like 10 minutes of messing around with the ball in the garden, solely for the purpose of getting footage for the video. However, maybe that wasn't such a bad thing, because in the few days that I slacked, I realised something. My plan of getting myself fit was completely wrong.
You see, there's a pretty big difference between being fit to run like a 5k at a steady pace non-stop and being rugby fit.
So, I needed to change it entirely.
And how I'm going to do that is training in short bursts of the big three. What is the big three, you ask? Well, if you asked me a couple of months ago, I would have said Captain America, Iron Man and Thor. I'm not a nerd, I promise. But in this context, it is walking, jogging and sprinting, because this is most like what I would be doing in a rugby game, so it's what's most likely to get me rugby fit. So we'll start off with a walk for 1 minute. You know, ball's just gone out of play and I am walking to get back into position, and that's it. Now it's going into a jog. We've got the ball, we're making a bit of possession, but I'm not quite sprinting, but I'm jogging up the pitch slowly. And now I've just caught the ball and I've got to leg it to the try line. And we repeat that until 20-30 minutes have gone.
Now, it was at this time into the training that we received some bad news. A couple of training sessions had gotten cancelled, meaning that there was only going to be one more before the game was going to take place. And it was the very day before the game, which is not ideal considering how bad the last session went. I was hoping to get at least a few more in before I played, but I guess it's now more important than ever to really get in the work and up the levels. So let's do that. And with 4 days to go, I thought it was time to mix things up. It's all well and good doing my training to physically prepare me, but what about mentally? Today we went up to watch Exeter Chiefs on their New Year's Eve game, and my goal was to keep my eye on players that were in a similar position to where I play. Because it's all well and good like tackling a boxing bag in my own garden, but that's not going to help me remember where I'm supposed to stand at certain points in the game relative to what the other team are doing and what my teammates are doing. But watching someone else do it, that might just work. Obviously, that was a Christmas Eve game, so the next day was Christmas. No training occurred then. And then after that, tragedy occurred. The game had been cancelled because of the weather. Now, I was left with two options. I either, one, pause this video and restart it when a game is rescheduled, or two, I'll tell you about something that I learned very, very early on into these 14 days.
You see, very soon after I announced my return to rugby for this memorial game that's now cancelled, I was added to a WhatsApp group, Brewer Cup Christmas 2022, an under 21s cup game taking place just 2 days after when this memorial was going to take place, and they wanted me to play. Now, I was always intending on playing this game, but now I don't have a choice. And this is a much, much bigger challenge than the memorial game was going to be, because this is literally a cup game. This is not for charity. This is legit. And everyone that I'm going to be coming up against isn't going to be in a position like me where they haven't played for 3 years. This is going to be very hard, and I may have to change the goals that I set for the game, and I'll explain what I mean by that once I finish this workout.
So I have 3 new goals. Number 1, of course, still win the game. Number 2, win the game from the moment that I come on. I'm assuming that I'm going to be on the bench at some point. So from the moment I start to the moment that I stop playing, if the score of that period of time is positive towards my team, then that's pretty good. And number 3, actually be happy with how I play on an individual basis. Not necessarily score, obviously scoring would be good, but genuinely walk off that pitch satisfied with how I performed. And with that said, and after some really hard, intense training, where's the training? And a salt bath, it was game day. The pitch was checked, it was cleared, and it was go time. Everything that I had trained for over these last 2 weeks. My first time stepping onto a rugby field in about 3 years. A literal cup game. It was time. By half time we were down 10-5, but then it was my turn to step on. Now, you're probably wondering why I included this clip, because it's blurry and I barely feature in it. Well, that was actually my best moment of the game. It just didn't manage to get captured, so I'll try and paint a picture of what actually happened. So our fullback received the ball from a kick somewhere near the middle of the pitch on about our 10-metre line. I come off of my wing, loop around the back of the fullback, shouting for the ball. He pops it up. I get it. I start my run. I am going as fast as I can. All of those 100-metre sprints are coming in clutch here. They're big 13 steps up to tackle me. I slightly angle my run to the side, move the ball from my right hand to my left hand, and use my right hand to push him away.
Ooh, you're hard, showing off.
Now, after I've done this, I'm in a 2-on-1 situation. Me, our other winger, and 1 defender from the other team. I straighten up. I draw in the defender. I pass just as he steps in to tackle me, and our winger is in. But sadly, one of their players looped round and tackled him before he got to the try line.
So not halal mode.
But still, I was very happy with this. For a moment, I was definitely in flow state, I guess. And it really did feel like I had never left. Like I felt great. But anyway, what happened. And 10 minutes later, still down 10-5, this happened. A try in the last minute of the game, and the conversion was perfect. We win 12-10 in the closing seconds of the first leg of the cup. My goals: win the game, check. Win the game from when I come on, check. And be happy with my performance, check. I was pretty happy with it.
So sicko mode.
Shout out to my mum for filming parts of the game. This video wouldn't have been possible without her, so show some love in the comments if you like this video, because it's down to her. And if you want to see me retest my 100-metre sprint and 5-kilometre run, then subscribe, because it will be in a short soon. Thanks for watching.